welcome to another episode of Unplugged DMV. I am Tenia Denay, and today we have Chink OTR. So,
Yeah.
Chink, tell us a little bit about yourself. Let's start with where Chink OTR came from and what it stands for.
Chink OTR actually came from my great grandmother. My father used to call me Chink, and she was from the Philippines. That was her nickname. So he gave me that nickname. And OTR came from, actually, I was Chink at first, but I added on OTR because I feel like I'm on a rise. You know, Scooter had his campaign, so I felt like I had to put a campaign on my name, and On the Rise was my campaign.
I definitely thought OTR meant on the run. Do you get that a lot? Do a lot of
Yeah,
people?
definitely. Everybody always be like, what that stand for?
Hmm You have to say on the rise because I sure came in here and said, okay, Chink on the run. But I'm happy so everyone knows that it stands for Chink on the rise. So tell us a little bit about your upbringing and background.
I was born and raised in Baltimore, Maryland. I grew up over West Side, but I'm now residing with the East Side. I've been over that for a minute, but I don't claim no area because I've been around. Like I've lived all over Baltimore. So I started rapping, well, writing music when I was about 9, and I had my first studio session when I was about 13.
So was it challenging being like a preteen in the studio?
Yeah, one, my voice was super duper soft, and I ain't had the energy I needed because it was my first time being in the studio. I was like still in that box. I wasn't really comfortable.
Yeah, so I know it was challenging, like being around people who are experienced, or was it like people there that you looked up to and they were like, hyping you or telling you had that sound?
Yeah, so my first studio session, I was by myself, but I would go to the studio and be around other artists to try to, figure out how the energy, like ad libs, all of that type stuff, working one on one with producers, stuff like that. So I learned over time.
Yeah, and so your first session was at 13, but did you continue that like, often, or was it something that you started and then you picked back up later on, like as you got older?
So I would probably go to the studio maybe once a month or twice every 2 months, like I don't know. I was playing basketball in high school and middle school, so music was on my list, but it wasn't like a priority like what I'm trying to make it now. So over time, once I put the ball down, it was like, yeah, music, that's really my passion. That's really my passion. So this is what I let it do.
Yeah, so I know you said I asked you, what do you consider your genre of music? Or, no, first, do you consider yourself a rap artist or just an artist in general? So tell me a little bit about that because you do other things.
I rap. Most of the music that I have out now is of me rapping, but I sing also. But the music that I want to put out is mostly melodic. So I don't really consider it singing that much, but I mean, some people be like, no, that's considered singing. Like the way that I use my voice and try to flow and stuff like that.
Your sound is definitely unique, so I know that can be challenging as well in a city and world full of male rap artists. Do you find that challenging? Being a female in a male dominant industry.
No, I really don't. For example, I went to D Dave's first plugin. Uh, I was the only female in there for like the first 2 3 hours, and I actually was one of the first performers. So I performed in a room full of guys, and they was rocking with me. So that made me feel good. I feel like I can dominate in a male dominant industry. So I ain't scared of nothing.
Yeah, so as far as your sound goes, what makes you bring the guitars and like the acoustic sound, to it versus, just getting in the studio and making, like the regular like hip hop beat that we hear nowadays as far as like trap music and things like that? Because your music definitely tells a story. So,
Um, I love live instruments. Like one of my dreams is to learn how to play the guitar. So I love that instrument. I really like piano too, but I love live instruments. So I was like, why not put that into my music to make it feel more like me? Like I feel like an artist has to find that sound, and I'm thinking I'm finally finding my sound.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, like, in your childhood, did you do any, play any instruments or anything like that? Because people who have like a love for guitar sounds and piano, like all of your songs, have that sound to it. So I was wondering if, so you should definitely incorporate that into it. Be the next Alicia Keys, but the rap version,
Yeah, so
or
I never really played an instrument. I know like fourth grade they give us a recorder. I played the trumpet in fifth grade, but it wasn't like, a passion. I grew up around music, but I never grew up around anybody that was as into music as I am.
right.
But I don't know. I just think that a guitar is so dope, like acoustic versus electric, like all those sounds that an instrument can make. I just think it's dope.
It really is. It's really unique. You know what I mean? And it stands out because everybody is into the mumble rap and the trap music, and that's why I say your music is unique. So let's get back into me saying that your music tells a sound. Your songs tell a story. So let's bring awareness to mental health because you have a song out called Anxiety. So where did that stem from?
That stemmed from me personally dealing with depression and anxiety on a day-to-day basis. I lost my father to drug addiction, so anxiety stemmed from me losing him, trying to spread a message to the people that was around me that was still, you feel me, doing drugs. And it was like, I didn't really understand. Like, we just lost somebody, but y'all still doing this. That's is going to eventually kill y'all. So I had to mature my mind a little bit and understand, like, it's really a disease. It's not something somebody can just quit. But I ain't know how to talk to them, so I had to put it in music. And when I put it in the music, I touched some people. So I mean, it was really about mental health,
Yeah.
dealing with all of that.
At what age did you lose your father again?
17. I was 17.
17. Okay, so because you started so young, in the music and in the studio, was that your outlet? Was that your, way to release the pain and anxiety and things that you were feeling from those loss?
Um, well, I mean, I started doing music long before I lost my father. That was just the outlet, like just me using my creativity. But the older I got, the more things I went through. So then music became somewhere for me to put my pain like out, make an outlet for my pain. So
And so far, have you realized that it, or have you seen that it has helped, people around you?
definitely, I think it helped people around me. Sometimes I make music and somebody that hears it around me might relate to it so much they think the song is about them. But no, we just literally going through the same thing, and I just was able to put it into words.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's dope. I think that's really dope that you can tell a story and that you have meaning behind it. What is it? What is something that you want each person to take from your music?
Um, I would say I want them to take that everything that I put into my music is the real me, and always be your true self. Cause I've been around people that's not their true self, and you're not living the best life that you can live if you're not being yourself. So I would just say that.
Okay, so like with anxiety, are there any things like out, in the city or charity wise, that you've done to bring awareness to mental health?
Yes, I actually not too long ago I was in a veterans songwriting retreat. So it was, for veterans that wanted to do music. So me and my team, we had to write a song for somebody, but we had to basically get them to write the song. So that was kind of hard not being able to actually write the song for somebody. So we had to listen. It was like a 2-day Zoom songwriting retreat because of COVID. It was really dope. I met a lot of people, got to hear a lot of different sounds. Um, I had this dude, he was from Baltimore, luckily. He was an older guy, and he made a song about, we had to help them, I guess, create a song from something that,
That they experience.
that was deep. So that was hard to get somebody to be that comfortable with you. And we actually made the song on Zoom, and he actually came down to the studio too to record. So he was actually on the track. and it was dope.
I know that had to be a dope experience to look around and see everybody writing and see songs that come out or something like that. And that was, you said, last year with COVID,
No, that was a couple months
a
ago.
couple months
Yep.
ago. And that's what's up. I would love to tap into it. I want a pen to write. I mean,
Yeah, it was dope.
I don't know how to rhyme, but I think that we could get something done, you know?
Definitely.
So speaking of COVID, last year in the beginning of the pandemic, you wrote a song called Mask Up that became Baltimore City's national anthem. So for COVID-19. So tell us a little bit about what inspired you to write that.
Well, actually, I did not write the song. That's the only song out with my voice on it that I didn't write.
Really? Okay, so tell us
uh,
about it.
My manager wrote it, and I was in the studio, and I guess one of his clients came through to shoot a video, and they was trying to come up with an idea for a commercial to sell masks, and I just so happened to be in there, and the idea was, ooh, we should use a young face. So I was the face of the commercial. I just was the face and the sound.
Okay, so I know seeing yourself on the news and, you know, in a positive light, I know that had to be a great experience for you, your friends, your family. So how did you feel, you know, looking back and encouraging everyone around you to mask up?
That was dope. I know you say it's a positive light. For me, it was a positive light, but for social media, they clown anything that come their way. So they tried to make fun of what's it called, the interpreter that was behind me.
Oh,
So
the
she was
lady that was
dancing.
in the back. Okay, that was.
And that was
yeah.
actually the viral movement of the whole thing.
Mhm.
So it was dope. That was my first time performing for cameras with nobody else in the room but me. So that was a different feel.
Nobody was in the room doing that? Except
Because of COVID, it was limited. So
Oh.
basically, it just was a whole bunch of cameras lined up, and the people that was, controlling the cameras, there was nobody there for me to perform for but cameras. So that was different.
Yeah. I know. I mean, that lady was funny. She was funny. She was feeling it. But did that, you know, make you upset a little bit that the attention? Because I know sometimes social media can react to things a certain way, and it's like you missed the point of what I was trying to say. Did you have like that kind of, you know, outlook on it?
I feel like they definitely did miss the point, but I enjoy humor. So honestly, no, it was a stepping stone for me. I got a chance to go viral. Not too many people get a chance to do that. Even though it was in a negative light, it kind of showed me, what it would really be like if I was in the industry, how I would have to handle different situations. So it was a good stepping stone for me. It taught me a lot.
Yeah, it definitely gave you a preview of what your future looked like, because I know you want to, you know, do more things and go viral, you know, in different ways, and, you know, have people really understand and hear your music. Do you have any like upcoming projects that you're working on? I know we had mental health awareness month. We have Pride month now. Is there anything that you're working on, you know, for this month?
I'm about to release another song that's going to have a crazy visual. For example, my last song, I was the creative director before for it, so I wrote the whole thing for real, and just gave it to the videographer, and we collabed on it. So the same thing is happening with the next song, and I think I'm gonna give a song that I guess people might not be expecting, like a more party vibe. It's not gonna be so personal. It's gonna be a summer vibe. I feel like newspaper is a spring vibe. It's something you can sip to, but the next banger that I want to drop is definitely going to be a summer vibe.
Okay, well, I know we're definitely looking forward to that. So I know music, but is there anything else that Chink is working on, or that everybody should look out for?
I'm probably going to do a mental health conversation very soon to talk about mental health. I think that's something that's definitely overlooked. Me being a person that deals with that, day to day, me being around a lot of people that deal with it, I definitely want to bring awareness to that, even though Mental Health Month is over.
Could you just for a moment give everyone 3 different outlets for people who are dealing with anxiety and mental health, something that will make them feel better? It may be like writing, or, dancing, or, something that you have used and growing up?
I've been trying a lot of different things, so I would recommend people trying different things. I tried to paint. I'm not a painter, but that's an outlet. Journaling, therapy. Therapy, I didn't think therapy was really worth it. It's boring to me, but therapy definitely helps in the long run. Just talking to the people that's around you. Some of the people around you might not really understand what you're going through, and if you don't talk to them about it so that you can better help them understand, that can cause issues. So I definitely would say talk. That makes a difference.
Well, we thank you for that advice. I hope everyone who is suffering with mental health awareness and anxiety consider those things like painting, dancing, any outlet, writing, therapy that will help you get through the hard times and the hardship. So,
Yeah, another thing, going out into nature. I went to a flower field and just was outside. Like, I don't really like bugs and stuff, but being outside, you feel me, that felt good too. So
taking a walk, a nice walk with some trees, nature, greenery. Yep. So, Chink, we appreciate you for coming to Unplug DMV, bringing awareness to mental health, sharing with us some of your upcoming projects, and we look forward to working with you again.
thank you. Thanks for having me.
No problem. Alrighty. That wraps up this episode of Unplug DMV.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I was just sitting here thinking like, I see your name in the newspaper. Hey, this one for you. Oh, I saw the newspaper and your name was in it. Said you was stabbed to death, oh, I never forget it. And we was broke as fuck and I thought we was winning. Every kid in the world, smokers at the sky the limit. Hard-headed and pretty, had an iPhone full of bitches. Used to be Dutchies and dirt, but everything I hate is strong. Now nobody to call when you're back against the wall. Now everywhere I'm at, it be going down. I saw the newspaper and your name was in it. Said you was stabbed to death, oh, I never forget it. And we was broke as fuck and I thought we was winning. Every kid in the world, smokers at the sky the limit. Hard-headed and pretty, had an iPhone full of bitches. Used to be Dutchies and dirt, but everything I hate is strong power. Nobody to call when you're back against the wall. Now everywhere I'm at, it be going down. New language, what the fuck that I got on now? Take me away, it's pouring down. Hard to go with no one around. They say you get lost until you get found. Open. Sometimes you gotta celebrate, let's have a toast. And I was somewhere sipping on the rocks when I wrote this. Fired up, blowing down. I'm the one they wanna call on now. Newspaper and your name was in it. Said you was stabbed to death, oh, I never forget it. And we was broke as fuck and I thought we was winning. Every kid in the world, smokers at the sky the limit. Hard-headed and pretty, had an iPhone full of bitches. Used to be Dutchies and dirt, but everything I hate is strong. Now nobody to call when you're back against the wall. Now everywhere I'm at, it be going down. I saw the newspaper and your name was in it. Said you was stabbed to death, oh, I never forget it. And we was broke as fuck and I thought we was winning. Every kid in the world, smokers at the sky the limit. Hard-headed and pretty, had an iPhone full of bitches. Used to be Dutchies and dirt, but everything I hate is strong power. Nobody to call when you're back against the wall. Now everywhere I'm at, it be going down.